also want to tell you, focusing is not something that I invented. All I did was make little steps so that people could find it. It's there, and when you get it, then you, by next year, if you need Gene, something's wrong. It doesn't work like that. You find it inside you, and then it's yours, and it doesn't have anything to do with Gene. And, so first I want to introduce focusing a little bit, because some people are new and some people want to see how I introduce it, and that's always fun. We're going to work with it. And we find that it, even though we all do it very often alone, and especially a part of it we do very often alone, it works better when you have another person with you, and we all know that. That's because we are inherently interactional creatures, you see. It's very mysterious looking. If someone is sitting there, or even on the phone, someone is breathing and saying nothing, I can get into myself much more easily than I can, even though my arm gets stiff, this one, holding the phone. So one of the mysterious only because of the kind of theory that is around, seemingly mysterious things, is that we're interactional, we're inherently interactional. And when we're alone, then we have to interact with ourselves, and we have to keep making the responses. And focusing is a dialogue between this and the body. It's a dialogue. We have to keep, and it's just very much deeper and easier if you have somebody there. So we partner people now from the start. The second mystery about it is that the body is not at all what they teach us in school about the body. The body is something completely different. The person and the body are one system together. The person suffuses the body, every part of the body. People who know a lot about feet and the sole of the feet tell you that you can tell everything about a person from the sole of the feet. Experts on any part of the body can see a great deal, from your walk, from your posture, from any of your organs. The gynecologist knows how you're doing in therapy. Really. Checked out many times. Every part of the body is actually suffused, I say, because any link here. Every part of the body is in some way involved in living. And we're coming to understand that more and more and more, but you might as well take the jump and say the body is not at all a physiological machine. That's only the part of it that our science gets the best. The body and the person are all one. And the body has its own take on what's going on, and it's a more subtle take. The body is more intricate, the way it understands the situation. You would just think you're sitting here and you know why you came and so on, but if I sent you in there on the body level, you would get a much more interesting, much more intricate, much more complex take on why you came, or any other thing I would ask you about. So where does one find this bodily take on the situation? In some situations you already experienced it, because in some situations it comes up and it calls. But it's a little bit difficult to get to the body part, because we're so accustomed when it calls to pay attention to the emotionality, to what we call the feelings, to, it scares me, it makes me mad, or it makes me happy even, or whatever. And the body level that focusing is from is a little deeper than that. So you sort of have to walk by the familiar feelings. It's like it's in the same direction, but further down. So you say, yes, I know I'm scared. Yes, I realize I feel this way. Yes, this is my old depression. If I want to get depressed, I could. Yes, all those things that are all familiar. And you walk on by all that stuff. And you ask yourself whether you are comfortable at the bottom there in the pit of your stomach, sort of. And typically, if you're working on a problem, you already know you're not comfortable, but all the same, it's where you are broadly uncomfortable when you have a problem. That's where it starts. And that happens to be a place that if you are easily in touch with it, you're taught to pass it by. It feels like, oh, well, that's just something. That's just indigestion, or that's just confusion, or that's just discomfort, but I can manage. Well, right there, where it seems very unpromising, when you get there, you're going to say, this is this great mysterious entrance to all this stuff. If it's not familiar to you, you're going to say, this is nothing. Especially if you're a very sophisticated, developed person, you're up here, you can say all these fantastic things about yourself, and down further, you're familiar with some complex feelings, and now I want you to go one more step and stand in front of this buh. So at first, if it's new to you, you might not believe that this is where we're talking about, but it is. That's where we're talking about, where in spite of all the things you know, all you can really do there is say, you know. How does it feel? Well, not exactly, nor, But does it feel nice and comfortable? Well, let me see. I mean, up here, I know I'm not nice and comfortable, but if I go down there, I mean, am I now nice and comfortable? Well, I think I'm all right. I'm doing fine, but on the other hand, I have to manage this whole scene, so I can't be too comfortable. So I'm talking from my head. I'm telling you, I know myself. I'm probably, you know, never mind that. Let's go down and see. It doesn't take very long. Well, it's not bad down there, but it's going. and it's got several things. It's sort of like the present moment here. Don't talk too long, it says, but then it has little strings going to other things that aren't quite resolved, and we'll look at those later. But it likes the fact that I came. See, that was okay. Now I'm very practiced at this, but so I can do it very fast. It doesn't typically go that fast. Almost everybody needs, say, a minute or two at least of some kind of quiet to come in here.